And we are live over on YouTube. What is up, YouTube? Hello, everyone. I'm going to invite everyone into the YouTube live right now. We're going to get going here in just a minute. You guys are watching the February Encore auction for REA. We're going to wait to get our first viewers to jump in here over on the YouTube channel. I'm going to make sure that we're up and running. I'm going to launch it over on TikTok. And we will be live here as well. Awesome. Just getting that set up. Perfect. I see there. Hello, can I get some drops in the comments from everyone joining in? Hello, and welcome to another Encore auction from REA and me, presented by Bonkers Cards. I'm very excited about tonight's show. The February Encore auction's got some loaded stuff. I'm going to flip it over just real quick so you guys can see me. What's up, guys? How's everybody doing? Hope everyone's having a great night, and I'm excited to show you guys this auction. Following the auction coverage here, it's going to be just a half-hour quick show highlighting everything about some of the big lots that are in this Encore auction for REA. I am going to be turning it over. We'll have our live show. I've got some singles, some stuff, some really nice new slabs that came in over the weekend. I went to a couple of card shows. Might throw in a giveaway or two. So appreciate everybody who is watching right now. I'll wait just a minute just to get the chat going. I am also streaming live on YouTube. I say that because on the YouTube channel, you'll be able to get a much better viewing experience. And if you have a smart TV, you want to use the YouTube app, plug in the YouTube app to be able to watch this. You can literally watch the coverage on your TV, get an up close and personal view of the scans of some of these photos, of these cards. Some of the cards that are in this upcoming auction at REA are some of the absolute best of the best. We're talking 33 Goudeys. We're talking Lou Gehrig. We're talking Babe Ruth cards, Ty Cobb. So I'm really excited to get to show you guys all this. If you guys could, and if the REA team's in the chat yet, go ahead, drop a comment, say hello, and give me a follow. Subscribe over to the YouTube channel if you'd like to watch over on the YouTube channel. Hello to the YouTube folks watching as well. And really do appreciate all you guys for tuning in and watching. It looks like we're up to 358 people watching, which is fantastic. If you guys love vintage baseball, you're in the right place. So I am logging on right now. This is the REA website, and I'm bidding on a couple of these cards today, and I will be talking about some of them. But this highlighted auction for the February Encore auction has a couple of big names. Look at this Babe Ruth card. I want to start off with the Babe Ruth card. This is the 1948 Leaf Babe Ruth. And for my YouTube guys, I'm going to be presenting my screen now so that you guys can see that. And we're going to share it. But yeah, guys, this Babe Ruth card is in a PSA 6. So this is excellent to mint condition. The color is absolutely phenomenal. And it's probably really impactful baseball card set in the 1940s. This card, the resolution is fantastic. The color really pops and stands out. And this, to me, is one of my favorite Babe Ruth cards that doesn't get enough press. People immediately gravitate to the 33 Goudey, which they do have in this auction. Thank you to James Ritchie in the comments just now. He hit me with a follow. Guys, all of your comments are in play tonight. If you guys would like to watch, if you have cards that you're interested to see if are in this auction, if you have comments, questions, things you want to learn more about the vintage baseball card market, this auction house specifically, I'm all ears. I'm very responsive in the chat, and I love it when you guys drop comments. So let me know what you guys think of this first one I'm showing off here, the 1948 Babe Ruth in a PSA 6. His teammate, Lou Gehrig, also has a card in this auction. Arguably, this is a top 3 card in the February Encore auction. This is the 1934 Goudey Lou Gehrig. This card is actually a beautiful PSA 6. Although the 33 Goudey obviously predates it and is considered his rookie card, many collectors tend to gravitate towards the 34 Goudey Gehrig for 2 reasons. One, you've got the Lou Gehrig Says as the subtle subtitle on all of these cards. And what's really cool about that is that Lou Gehrig's on it himself. Every single card in this set says Lou Gehrig Says on the bottom. So the matching is kind of nice in that regard. The 34 Goudey Gehrig also has eye-catching color. This yellow pops. This is an example of PSA 6, high grade, beautiful copy. I'm going to show off the back. Now I got a couple of questions. Are there comps for PSA 6, says JC over on the YouTube. JC, I would have to look that up. I don't know the recent comp history of that. They don't sell too frequently. And then thanks for letting me know about the YouTube channel, says Tony. I'm noticing as well, guys, I want to figure out why you guys are still stuck on the Babe Ruth screen over on the YouTube channel. I will unlock that just for a second. I want to make sure that you guys are seeing the screen as it changes here. So let me just share that. All right, so here is the Lou Gehrig. Thank you guys for hanging with me over on YouTube. Had a question come in as well on the TikTok channel saying how do you suggest going about finding references to become an approved bidder? Jack Sparrow, that's a great question. If you have any questions regarding that, you could shoot an email to the REA team. If you've ever done business with somebody from the card industry, or if you've ever bought from another collector that somebody can vouch for you, I think that's what they're looking for. It could just be a reference in that regard. I'll let the REA team handle that when you reach out to them as well. But that's a good question. I know I used 2 references of people that I've done baseball card deals with in the past. But I will leave that to them. So I'm going to go back now into the bid auction. Guys, great question as well. Please keep the questions coming. I'm happy to talk about it. And then Tony, I'm going to hide that comment over on YouTube. So I'm going to highlight this card. This will be the highest selling card of the auction. This is the 1911 M116 Sporting Life blue background Honus Wagner. This is a big card. I made a video about this today on my TikTok channel if you guys haven't seen that yet. But essentially, I talked about how REA had this card in their October auction. It was a very high performing card. They have not yet hit the number. It was a SGC 5.5. This is a PSA 5. So the PSA 5 today sits at 41,000. Now this auction closes this Sunday, so there's still plenty of time to have bids come in on this. I'm not going to be surprised if this card pushes 50,000. This is a beautiful color registration. It's a gorgeous card. I love the back of this card as well. You can see here, when you think of baseball, think of Sporting Life. For 27 years, the recognized authority of all baseball matters. Think about that. 27 years of being in business in 1910 puts them in the 1880s, 1870s. So really crazy to see how far back baseball history goes, and baseball cards go with it. So I love that Wagner card. That's going to be a big one and a fun one to follow as we continue to go through here. Another card that I want to make sure that I give a shout out to is the Tito 6. This is the Ty Cobb with the bat on shoulder. So there is a portrait, of course, of the Ty Cobb card in this auction. I'll jump to that in just a moment. But this auction also has Cy Young and Walter Johnson portraits in the sovereign backs as well. So this is why I want to call this out. You'll notice the back of this Ty Cobb is a sovereign back. This is a more rare back than 2 of your more traditional backs, the T206 cards, like the Piedmont or the Sweet Cap, right? So sovereign's a little more rare. That offers a premium for T206 collectors. Again, for those that aren't familiar with the T206 cards, you'll be familiar with these cards because this is the set that the famous Honus Wagner T206 card comes from. Now, what's interesting about the T206 cards are not only the front, but it's the backs, because there was a number of different cigarette companies in the time that had the similar images, but different tobacco companies were on the backs, right? So you'll see backs like Sovereign, Sweet Capital, as I mentioned earlier. Old Mills, another rare back. In the last Encore auction, we had a number of rare backs coming from the Carolina Brights set. So there's a number of different areas that you're able to collect in T206, not only the front, not only the artwork, not only the portrait, not only the action shot or the Hall of Famers that go along with it, but the backs are incredibly collectible as well. Now, this example of a PSA 3 Ty Cobb, I love it when you have the name very clearly legible off the bottom. And the centering, of course, for the T206 is very important. And the centering looks great here. Ty Cobb, known as the Georgia Peach, one of the most fiercest competitors and well-known Hall of Famers of all time in the dead ball and turn of the century era of baseball. And this current bid is at 3,300, so that'll be fun to watch as that continues to move along. Here we have a dark cap Christy Mathewson. Here's a PSA 5. Now this is in a Piedmont back, so you guys will see another back variation of these 206s in just a second here. Here's that blue background. I love the dark cap Christy Mathewson. Great all-time example of another T206 card. REA always has an excellent assortment of cigarette cards, T206 cards. Bambino says, beautiful card. Absolutely couldn't agree more. This is one of my favorite T206 cards. I've owned this a number of times. I love this card. Whether you're a PSA guy or SGC guy, if you just look more deeply into the center of this card and the color that goes along with it, it is a fantastic card. So the current bid on that is $3,000 as well. As I mentioned earlier, we do have a Ty Cobb card in this auction that is in the portrait. So this is the red background. There's the REA team. More than 900 T206 cards are in this auction. Thank you so much to the REA team. If the REA team could shed any light, there's a question earlier that came through in the chat. And I wanted to see if you guys would be able to answer. I said to direct them to email. Jack Sparrow USA dropped a comment asking how to go about using the references. He wanted to make an account with REA. He said, how do you find references to become an approved bidder? So he wanted to make an account, maybe throw a couple bids in, but he needs to use references in order to start his bidding. So I told him to email you guys if there's any high-level summary or response that you want to drop into the chat over there at REA. Feel free to. If not, no worries. I'll be able to connect, shoot you a message after the show, and I'll be able to provide him more information. But anyway, this T206 Ty Cobb card, this is a portrait card, PSA 4. The red really pops here, really vibrant color of another Ty Cobb card. What I really like about this card, as well as we were talking about earlier with the rare backs, guys, Tolstoy was a very, very rare back in the time. They did not produce a ton of these. This is the Tolstoy. It says the Russian mouthpiece cigarette baseball series. I've owned one Tolstoy card in my career as a baseball card collector. This card is incredibly rare to see, especially with the Ty Cobb. So we are at $82.50 on the current bid here. This, if I had to guess, will move into the 5 figures. Even common cards in lower grade go for several $100s in this set. And once you add somebody as impactful as Ty Cobb, you will see that really open up. I'm going through some of the top lots right now here. It's important to call out, guys, that REA not only has incredible vintage baseball. John Wren says 20K easily because of PSA 4 Tolstoy. Would love to hear what you guys think of what that Ty Cobb card will go for, or really any of your guys' takes in some of these auctions. It's always fun to kind of speculate on where you see some of these cards going, but you're right. 20K could easily hit the number there. Like I said, 5 figures, absolutely no doubt. The sound quality is much better on TikTok. Okay, thank you for the feedback on that, Jay Ches. I'll work on trying to see what the sound quality is like on YouTube. Thank you for that comment, Jay Ches. We do have a good group here on TikTok. We've got about 56 people watching. We had 350 viewers off the top of the show. So glad to see that people are enjoying checking out some of these lots here. What I wanted to talk about is that REA not only has an excellent assortment of vintage baseball, but they also have vintage basketball and hockey in this auction. I wanted to start off with this complete 1986 Fleer set. This is obviously relevant right now to us, those that follow me in the Bonkers Cards community. We have an 86 Fleer set break going on. And this set is completely PSA graded, PSA 8. The Michael Jordan rookie is into PSA 8 as well. And if you guys can check this out, the current bid here is $82.50. It's a 132 card set, and the 86 Fleer set needs no introduction. It is one of the most iconic basketball sets, if not the most iconic basketball set ever made. It has a ton of huge rookies. The era of 80s basketball is filled with Hall of Famers from Larry Bird, Michael Jordan, Magic Johnson, Hakeem Olajuwon. The list can go on and on. So that is a complete set that is available in this auction. The sticker set that goes along with it that we also have in my set break that's running right now is also available all in PSA 8 as well. On I Hate 3 Putts says, I just sold my MJ. Well, there you go. You can grab one in the complete set. I Hate 3 Putts. But check this out. 1985-86. This is an O-Peachy unopened wax box that contains Mario Lemieux's rookie. This has the baseball card exchange wrapping around it, which is the gold standard for sealed wax and sealed product. If you guys are familiar with the baseball card exchange, So to have this in the auction, super cool, rare piece, and an opportunity to get into Mario Lemieux's rookie card. Pretty fantastic piece to be able to have all together there. So going into lot number 10 now, I do want to show off some more cards that we're going even earlier than the T206. We're going to the 1886 Old Judge. Check this out, guys. Sam Thompson, the Old Judge cigarette cards. This is from the 1880s, so late 19th century. This is stuff that I never get to see on my show. Just to clarify, the set includes the Lemieux's rookie. We can never guarantee what is in each box. Thank you to REA for that. Goodwin and Company, New York. These Old Judge cards are some of the earliest known baseball cards that exist. The current bid on this is $2,000. It's in an SGC4 slab. And man, that slab was meant to have a vintage baseball card in it. That 1886 to 87 year. Pretty cool to see cards from way back when. So moving on, I want to showcase another Wagner. This is the 1909 E95 set. Really cool set here. Similar era, of course, to the T206 set. A little bit different, though. The E95 set has some of the best Hall of Famers ever. This set also includes Cy Young, Wagner. There is also a Ty Cobb in this set that is also in this auction. I want to showcase the back real quick because it actually shows the set list. So you've got Wagner, Chief Bender, you can see right there. Cobb is card number 9. Sam Crawford, Christy Mathewson, Eddie Plank. So it's a 25 card set. Philadelphia Caramel Company from Camden, New Jersey. Really cool card. The current bid on this is at $2,700. Of the early Wagner. And if you guys check it out, lot number 12, here he is, Ty Cobb again. This card is what I would call a collector's card. This card has had quite a journey, as you can tell. It's in an SGC1. It does have its fair share of creases. It's beat up. You can still read Cobb. You can still read his team. And man, if this card could talk, I'm sure there would be some stories attached to it. But you can knock 2 cards right off the checklist right away with Ty Cobb and Wagner from this set. The current bid on this is $525. Let me tell you, that's a good deal. If you guys are interested to see how it works, I have no issue placing a bid on that. At $575 would be the next bid on it. You just simply click confirm bid once you make an account, and now I'm the leading bidder there. Just so you guys know how the auction works, let me just get back into it. Bidding is open all week. Bidding closes on Sunday. Once bidding closes Sunday at 9 p.m., you go into what is called extended bidding. That means that you can only bid on cards that have already had a bid on them. So if you're interested in a card, like I just did with that Ty Cobb, put a bid in it. Even if somebody outbids you, you'll be able to bid on it later into the evening on Sunday. That is a great way to kind of bookmark some of the different cards that you're interested or cards that you like. I think that's a great way to go about doing it, but obviously everybody has their own view on the best way to do it. I mentioned earlier that there's Cy Young in this auction that has the sovereign back. Check this out. Here it is. It's a PSA 3 Cy Young. It has the sovereign back. I absolutely love the Cy Young portrait. It's my favorite of his cards. The green background, very bold. I do like the portrait of this card. It doesn't get more historical than Cy Young as well. I want to jump to just a little bit further down the page. You guys will see a number of different T206s available. Here's another Ty Cobb. This is the green background variation of Ty Cobb. This is lot number 24. The green background is more rare than the red background that you guys saw earlier. The green will always go for a premium just because it is a lower population count. And here's the back, guys. Here's that sweet cap back. The more common of the T206 backs is backs, if you will. But the green background is, of course, the more rare. And again, currently bid at $2,900. I typically see this card go for well more than that. So that'll be an interesting one to follow as we get into the bidding later on this week. I wanted to jump down to lot number 29, actually, for our next highlight, because it's another Ty Cobb card for the Ty Cobb collectors out there. We have the M116 Sporting Life blue background of Cobb as well. So we showcased the Wagner. That's going to easily fly to the highest sold card in this auction. We have a PSA 2 copy of it as well of Honus Wagner. So here's that back again, showcasing Sporting Life company. Really cool card. I want to be able to showcase this alongside as again on the top of the show when we were talking about the Wagner. So the Wagner is currently at PSA 5. It's at 41K. And then the Cobb is currently at almost 9,000. It's at 8750. Bambita says, love the pastel look on the Cobb. I agree. I really like that set. And it should be a fun one to watch. So moving through it as well, just over the way, we've got 2 Babe Ruth cards that I want to highlight here. One of them is this. You can see here, I actually placed a bid on this earlier. I threw a bid at 3,700. This is a PSA 1 of the 1933 Gaudy Babe Ruth. But man, it is a really nice eye appeal card. The registration is phenomenal on the front. Nothing really apparent in terms of damage on the front. And even when you look in the back, there's no major creasing. It's very legible on the back. I've seen ones way more beat up than this. So I love going after high eye appeal, low grade cards, and that is an excellent example of it. So that'll be a fun one to see where that closes on. Next to him in lot number 33, so that was just lot 32. Lot 33, you've got the Babe Ruth Sport Kings. So this is the same year as the 33 Gaudy, but a different set. Sport Kings features players outside of just baseball. It's a really cool set. Here is the Babe Ruth example in a PSA 2, just so you guys can check a look at the back. You will notice very similar to the way that the Gaudis look. It is still the Gaudy Gum Company, but the Sporting King set was a offshoot of the 33 Gaudy set, which was featured all of the baseball players at the time. So awesome card here, PSA 2 of the Babe. Right next to that, I wanted to shout out a couple of his teammates. Again, I mentioned earlier, there's the PSA 6. Here's the PSA 4 of the 34, Lou Gehrig. This is in PSA 4. 3,000 will be the next bid on that. We've had a bunch of these on the show lately. This is the exhibits card of Lou Gehrig. Also have Babe Didrikson in this auction. Thank you very much, REA. So this is the Lou Gehrig exhibits card, PSA 1.5. The current bid there is $750. This is his final card as a player, which is very fun for any hardcore Lou Gehrig collector. I know there's a few of you out there that love Lou. That is his last time that he appears on a card, so very cool and collectible card there. You can see here, I threw a bid on this earlier because I'm very intrigued to see where this closes. This is an uncut sheet of 1941 play ball. So you'll see Jimmy Fox, you'll see a young Ted Williams, all of the different players here from that set. This is the sheet that they were made, but they were never printed, or they were never cut, I should say. So really rare to see them put together like this. Of course, you might have come across these cards individually, but to see them in an uncut sheet, incredibly rare. Just the Ted Williams card alone, of course, could garner quite a premium, or the Jimmy Fox. I know the Ted Williams card does more than $550, so I don't mind even throwing the bid on this at $600. I'm going to place another bid just to continue to watch it. But that is going to be on my watch list throughout this week as well. I really, really like that. Yeah, it is incredible to see where they do find some of this stuff over at REA. If you guys are ever interested, this is their homepage. You can actually go and read their consignor stories. And they actually write blogs and articles about where they find these collections, different interesting topics that are going on in the hobby, things of that nature. What's also kind of cool here, if you go to consign, you'll see consignor stories, Q&A with REA as well. So this is different articles from content creators, people in the hobby. I actually was I was featured as a Q&A with REA back in September. So you can actually read through the whole conversation I had with them talking about my collection and my journey. So really cool stuff. If you guys want to check out robertedwardauctions.com. But anyway, if you go back to their homepage, can you cut the sheet, says Matt Motley? Yes, you can. From my understanding, you can cut the sheet and then submit cards to be graded. Obviously, you need to be very exact with actually cutting the cards out of it in order to have the card be graded, not as an authentic card or an altered card. But I do know that people who have had access to uncut sheets of other sets have actually cut the cards out themselves and sent to grading. So pretty interesting there. Thank you for the comment, Matthew, John, and Buxo, Brandon Bates. Appreciate all those comments. Want to keep writing down because one of my favorite cards in the auction I was about to get to, and that's lot number 38. This is a low-grade example of Mickey Mantle's rookie card. This is the 1951 Bowman set. The Mickey Mantle, his 52 Topps card, of course, is the iconic card of the hobby. But his 51 Bowman predates that card, and in my opinion and many others still feel that this card does not accurately reflect the demand or the real value. I think this is an undervalued card in the hobby at large. The current bid's $4,200. If you think about it, an SGC1 of a 52 Mantle would do anywhere between $28,000 and $30,000, right? So to have a card that predates that card, his true rookie, go for a tenth of that. It's really interesting. Blake says, why would anyone cut them? Way more rare as a sheet. Well, Blake, it just depends on what your preference is. Of course, the uncut sheet is more rare, but just depends on what people really want to do with them. As I move down here, guys, you'll notice a couple of nice Jackie Robinson cards, but here's a 1954, and you'll notice I absolutely threw a bid on this. I'll put another bid on it right now. This is a really special piece of baseball history. This is a ticket from the 1954 World Series, Game 1, where Willie Mays made the catch. Yes, the over-the-shoulder catch that solidified Willie Mays as a legend in World Series history. That catch was made in this World Series game, and it's pretty cool to see that this history still exists. It's in the PSA 1.5 slab. It's a great piece of baseball history. I would love to have this in my collection. But yeah, I couldn't be more thrilled to see this in the REA auction as well. Stellar ticket, says Fred. I tend to agree there. That's quite a stellar ticket. And let me just go back and present again on YouTube stream. And I will keep it rolling here. But let's get back into the auction. I'm very excited to see where that ticket lands. I am the lead bidder on it now, so we'll see who wants to take me down. Of course, next to that ticket, we have a Hank Aaron rookie, my favorite card in the hobby, a PSA 3 Hank Aaron rookie. How much was the ticket going for? The ticket was at, the current bid is $550. Actually, yeah, $550 held by yours truly. So we'll see how long that stands before somebody outbids me, but I'll be in on that one for sure. Here's a 1959 Bazooka. Here's a Mickey Mantle, authentic grade card. There's additionally a Willie Mays card from this set. The Bazooka cards, you'll see here, a little creasing, but the card's centered, the color's there. These Bazooka cards, you probably haven't seen these on my show before. They are quite rare. So here's a PSA authentic of the Willie Mays as well. These do not come around a lot. I never, ever, ever see them at shows. The current bid on the Mays is $130. The current bid on the Mantle is $400. So those were rare cards for the late 50s, the Bazooka set. But as I move forward here, I want to showcase lot number 46 as well. Here's a basketball, Wilt Chamberlain. This is his rookie in an SGC 2.5. Check that out. Wilt Chamberlain rookie from the 61 Fleer set. If it's not 86 Fleer, it's 61 Fleer in terms of the most recognized and impactful basketball card sets there ever was. So love to see Wilt on that. Guys, let's check this out, guys. As speaking of basketball sets, here he is, his Airness Michael Jordan, SGC 5.5. So similar card to what we have in my set break for the 86 set break we are running. We've got the Michael Jordan rookie in an SGC 5.5. The current bid is at $2,300. Again, guys, there's a week left in bidding. The bidding closes this Sunday. So if there are cards that you have seen in the coverage that you liked, that you're interested in throwing bids on, you've got this week to put them in. And then extended bidding will be this Sunday. We will have another watch party this Sunday, seeing where all of the action is closing. It's going to be this Sunday at 7:30. It's going to be the same style show as what you guys just watched. You might see me throw a couple more bids down. You might see some more of these prices start to jump up. If you want to get in the action, it's going to be this Sunday, 7:30. And then following that, we will have my 86 Fleer set break and our regular Bonkers Cards live show. How many more spots do you have left in your Fleer set break, says Jeremy? I have about 40 left. So if you guys are interested in buying spots, in about 2 minutes, we're going to transition off of the REA coverage into the Bonkers Cards live show. Since we didn't have a show yesterday, I've got some new cards up for grabs on the show tonight, and we will be talking more about the set break there. So more to come on that, Jeremy. Just stick around for a few more minutes. I've got 1 or 2 more lots I want to highlight, and then I will thank the REA team for joining. And again, we will have the REA coverage again this Sunday. I will close down this live show both on YouTube and TikTok, and then restart the TikTok to get going with our show. So another lot I wanted to show you here was the 73 Topps CeeLo pack. This is a sealed baseball card pack from 1973. Very, very hard to get sealed product from the 60s and 70s like this. Super cool to be able to still uncover these as they come around. You will see that the pack is graded PSA 8. So the person who buys this will keep the pack, or they can open it up and see for themselves what are some of the cards in that set. But most people at this point stage of the game want to keep their packs sealed. But yeah, guys, so again, you can visit bid.robertedwardauctions.com to check out all of these lots. There's tons of awesome stuff. There's pages of it, vintage baseball, football, basketball, slabs, different lots full of stuff. If you collect specific things like I do, there's a search bar function right here. I have all my typicals that I always search for when REA starts. Here's some Hank Aaron signed cards I'll be going after. So it just depends on what you are looking for. Guys, this has been the REA coverage. I want to thank the YouTube audience that watched. Appreciate you guys as well. I'm going to end the show here now. I'm going to restart it, and we are going to jump into our live show. Here, I'll flip the screen so you guys can see me. Thank you guys all so much. Stay right where you are. Get ready to join right back in. We'll have our Bonkers Cards live show. Appreciate you guys all so much, and thank you to the REA team. What an awesome February Encore auction. Thanks, guys.